military's best boxers battle it out in the ring. 10 weight classes, 4 services, non-stop action. Who will take home the gold? Will it be the Army, Air Force, Navy, or Marines?
It's on tonight, so hold on. 'Cause we're about to light it up.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to TPC Sports coverage of the 2012 Armed Forces Boxing Championships. And a special hello to those who are watching on the Armed Forces Network. I'm Van Stokes, along with a man who's covered boxing around the world, Castle Chalice. Castle, it's great to have you with us again.
Yeah, Van, it's always a pleasure coming here, you know, and right now in Camp Pendleton, this is some of the best boxing we've seen all season long, and to culminate right here, I mean, this is what all the fans came to see.
Castle, talk about the richness, the specialness of this event.
Well, you know, the Armed Forces Championships is really where the best of the best, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, they send their all special teams to come here and do battle, and there's a lot of pride on the line, and there's an Olympic year, so we've got the London Games in 2012. There's a lot at stake here in this tournament.
Doesn't get any better than this. We are ringside at Page Fieldhouse here in Camp Pendleton, California. Coming up, we're ready for the heavyweights, 201-pound weight category. In this bout, it's the Marines versus the Air Force. Corporal Darnell Price faces off against Senior Airman Kent Brinson of the Air Force in this preliminary bout in the 201-pound weight class. Darnell Price hails from Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. He's got 5 years of experience in the ring. His opponent, Senior Airman Kent Brinson. He is the 2011 National Police Athletic League champion. He brings a lot into this competition. Let's get to the action.
Representing the United States Marine Corps from sunny San Diego, California. He's a data network specialist at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Weighing in at 201 pounds, let's hear it for Corporal Darnell Price. And now making his way to the blue corner, representing the United States Air Force. From Monroe, Michigan, he's a radio frequency transmissions technician stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado. Also weighing in at 201 pounds, he is the 211 National PAL champion. Let's hear it for Senior Airman Kent Brinson.
Let's get to the action, but first a quick look at the rules in amateur boxing. The bouts are 3-minute rounds with a 1-minute rest period in between. Judges will be using a computerized scoring system. Blows are scored when the white part of the glove strikes the head or the body, the front part of the torso of the boxer between the head and the waistline. Now, 3 out of 5 judges must register a scoring blow within a 1-second window in order for it to count. Fouls may result in cautions, warnings, or even disqualifications, and the referee can stop a bout for injury, a dominant lead, or whenever the referee thinks that safety might be a factor. Scoring has changed a little bit this year. We'll no longer be able to see the running score. The boxer scores will only be shared with the coaches at the end of the first 2 rounds. Now, the final score will be revealed at the end of the bout.
You know, Van, Kent Brinson giving up 6 inches and almost 10 years of age. But what he's not giving up is experience. The 2011 National PAL champion. It's nothing to sneeze at right there. Pretty impressive.
Brinson has over 40 bouts behind him, but right now there's only one that counts, and that's the one that he's currently getting ready to compete in. Round number 1 underway. It's the Marine Corps versus the Air Force. Darnell Price in the red singlet, red trunks, red headgear. Blue jersey, Kent Brinson, the Air Force with the blue gloves as well. Brinson, pretty much a stand-up boxer right now here in the early seconds, Castle.
Yeah, Brinson actually has not thrown one punch since this round has begun, and Darnell Price, on the other hand, is the busier boxer. You know, it's very hard to shake Brinson. We said Price doesn't like to smile. I don't know that I've ever seen Ken Brinson break a smile either.
I think we got him to smile a little bit in the interview, but that was basically no harm, no foul type interview. You look at Brinson, though, you see him back on his heels somewhat. Price, meanwhile, was up on the balls of his feet.
Yeah, I mean, very calm, very cool, and very collected as Ken Brinson. He obviously has talent, or he would not have the accolades he's collected throughout his amateur career. On the other hand, I'd like to see him figure out what his game plan is going to be against this tall, young, and strong boxer, Darnell Price.
I think you just saw it a little bit. That's to get on the inside of Price and land some body blows. You can score to the body, and it counts just as much as a blow to the head.
Now you see some nice foot feinting by Ken Brinson. It's the first feinting I've really seen throughout this contest, and it's an effective measure, an effective tool for a boxer to get his opponent to open up.
And, you know, a lot of people don't understand. They think a knockdown counts more, but it doesn't. It's just one blow counts as only one scoring point, even though your opponent might have gone to the canvas.
You know, and there's a nice maneuver by Darnell Price. You know, he's boxing in the southpaw style. So one thing you're going to want to notice is the two lead feet of the boxers. It's going to be a battle who could keep their lead foot on the outside of the other. Darnell Price is going to want to continue to keep his right foot on the outside of the left lead foot of Ken Brinson. Brinson's going to want to continue to move inside and work the body of Darnell Price. That's the strategy.
We have 1 minute remaining here in round number one, and I don't think we have a point scored by either boxer at this point early on here in the first stanza.
They call that a stalemate.
Or a draw, or whatever you want to call it, but there are no draws. I mean, let's say they didn't score any points in all three rounds put together, there would still be a winner.
That's right.
It would be based on aggressiveness in the eyes of the 5 judges who are ringside.
That is correct, although I can't say that I've ever seen in all of the amateur contests I've watched, and there have been quite a few, I've never seen a bout go 0-0 after 3, but we may see our first after round 1.
Under 30 seconds remaining in this round. There's a good cover right there by Kent Brinson. Keeps Darnell Price from getting in on the inside. Now here comes Brinson a bit on the attack.
Yeah, Brinson just so calm. You almost got to wonder if there's a pulse right there. I mean, I'd like to see him more active. He may be feeling his guy out, but after 1 round, to have no points scored by either boxer, have you ever seen that, Ben?
You know, back in the old 20-point must system, we'd see a 20-20 round, which means neither boxer had an advantage over the other. And this time, in terms of scores, it's 0-0 after round 1 on the judges' computers, the computerized scoring card. Let's take a look at Brinson's corner and see what his coach, Steve Franco, has to say.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Get inside. Hit that body first, then finish up top, okay?
We're good. As long as they ain't scoring that, we're good. 0-0.
0-0.
They ain't scoring none. We good.
Yeah, there's no question. He's got the shorter arms, Ken Brinson. He's not going to score points from the outside. It just doesn't work like that. This is the sweet science. There is a science to it. This smaller boxer needs to get inside and pound away at the body of Darnell Price. Price, keep using that long, rangy jab and keep Brinson at the end of his long punches like that, and that's his sure way to victory.
Round number 2, we have yet to see a scoring blow land in this particular bout.
You know, it's funny, when I was listening to Brinson in the corner, he was asking his coach if they were scoring that stuff, and I couldn't quite figure out what he was referring to. I think he was referring to these long jabs. Those jabs you see right there by Price, they're not really scoring. As you pointed out earlier, the white part of the glove needs to connect with the face or body of the opponent.
And that's a good cover that time by Kent Brinson. But now slipping into the cover goes a shot by Darnell Price. You know, both of these guys, when they are not boxing, have some interesting military occupational specialties. Price is a data network specialist, and Kent Brinson is a radio frequency transmission technician. I said, what is that? And he said, I fix radios.
And not only that, but he also hones into the right signal, the strong signal, and when he finds it, he locks in. Let's see if he could do something similar here in the ring tonight. Darnell Price hasn't really done much in the way of effective scoring either.
Darnell Price, representing the United States Marine Corps, comes from just down the road in San Diego, California. So he may have some fans, family, friends here watching him box tonight. And there's our first scoring blow, landed by Darnell Price. Price, 6 foot 2 inches tall compared to the 5'8" Kent Brinson.
You see, Brinson once again showing the good feinting that he showed in round 1, but he's not following up with it. He needs to get in after that feint, and he needs to work the body. Just like Steve Franco said, he needs to get in the body. It hasn't changed, it won't change. That is the path for Kent Brinson.
This is the kind of bout that could come all the way down to the final moments of the final round. Under 50 seconds remaining here in this round, as Price is told to keep his gloves up. Judges' scorecard at this point has it ready for this one, Castle. 1-1.
You know, what do you say? So, I mean, I guess these guys are evenly matched. You could start with that. The styles make fights. It's not much of an entertaining fight from a pure boxing standpoint, but it is interesting from a chess match. It seems like Brinson isn't quite ready to commit and open himself up, and Price isn't really putting his punches together to score points.
Well, that's the end of round 2. We're going to take a quick break. We will be back for round 3 of this heavyweight contest right after this. Welcome back to Page Fieldhouse at Camp Pendleton, California.
1-1 right now. Okay? That means that whoever gets some more points in this round is going to win. You're going to have to tighten this up right now, and you have to go for this. Okay? You got to let the straight shot, let your hands go, and then move. Okay? Move. Don't just stand there. No pity pat. Okay?
Counsel is to stick and move and stick and move. You get in a infighting with your opponent, Kent Brinson, and as you heard Jesse Ravello say, he will not fare too well.
No, I mean, he really needs to listen to his corner here. He needs to throw more straight punches, and he needs to throw them in bunches. I mean, it's a cliche, but it comes from truth. It comes from proven fact that the more punches you throw, the more you're going to keep your opponent off balance, and the more you're going to be able to find that big rear straight punch.
He got one there. He landed a scoring blow just now. Did Kent Brinson on the right hand. He's coming at him again.
Brinson, a pretty sloppy technique here, but I mean, it's working. He scored a point out of it. He's just really coming in a windmill type fashion, Ben. What do you make of it?
It's more heart right now than it is style, I think, Castle. And right now, that's what it's going to take to win this bout, is perhaps a little bit more heart than the other guy.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're exactly on point there, Van. I mean, it really does come down to heart because the styles aren't really favoring one boxer or the other, not in this contest.
There you see Brinson getting up close once again, lands a scoring blow. Judges card read. There's another right hand. Let's see if the judges tabulate that. They do. It's 4-2 right now on the computerized scorecard as an 8 count is being administered to Darnell Price.
And this is just as Jesse Ravello told Price. He said, this is so close. Whoever gets a couple more points is going to pull away, and that's what Brinson is doing right now.
And again, you take a look at what happened, you will see very, very easily how Brinson got on the inside and just landed that blow that caused the 8 count against Darnell Price. Action continues to be to the edge right now of Kent Brinson, but not by a lot, Castle.
No, I mean, Brinson's going to need to keep the pressure on. He's going to want to score a few more points if he can, put them in his back pocket, and hold them. Price, on the other hand, he's down now, and he needs to start throwing combination punches. He needs to double, triple up that jab, and come back with a big left hand to the head of Brinson.
There it was right there. A flurry that gained him another point. 4-3 on the judges' scorecard right now in favor of Kent Brinson. Brinson coming heavy. He knows that there's less than a minute remaining in this bout. 201-pound heavyweight preliminary. The winner will advance to the championship. Told to keep his head up is Kent Brinson.
You see right now, look how he's waiting. They always say, be first, be first. Darnell Price, why are you not first? You're standing there. You've got the guy at the range you want, a medium range. Use that jab. You could score points with the jab. The jab will save you. They say this sport is easy, Van, if you know how to use your jab.
And here comes Darnell Price. Price on the attack, but did he land a scoring blow or not? Less than 15 seconds remaining in this bout. It is a one-punch difference. Whoever gets off the last punch could win.
You know what?
And the bell sounds to end round number 3. Brinson did enough, stayed away from the long arms of Darnell Price. And according to our scorecard, won this with a 4-3 victory. Let's go to the official announcement.
Great fight, gentlemen. And now, the winner, fighting out of the blue corner, Kent Brinson.
Brinson's your winner. Castle Chalice will have a few words with our winner.
Well, Kent, here we are once again in the winner's circle. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
I feel good. It was a good fight. Tough kid, new guy. Didn't know much about him, but very tough kid. He's got a good future.
Kent, they say styles make fights. After round 1, it was 0-0. After round 2, 1-1. 4-3 was the final. What were you thinking in there with the points so close?
I just knew it was going to be a very defensive fight. I came into the fight thinking that his defense was a little bit tougher to penetrate than I thought, but it was a good fight.
Well, it sure was to all of us watching it out there on the Pentagon Channel. Congratulations, Kent Brinson.
Good job, Castle Chalice, as he talks to the winner of that heavyweight contest, Kent Brinson, who will now move on to the championship bout in the 201-pound weight category. We'll be back to the Armed Forces Championships here at Page Fieldhouse at Camp Pendleton, California in just a moment. We're back ringside here at Page Fieldhouse here at Camp Pendleton, California. Our coverage continues in the heavyweight division, 201-pound weight category. In this bout, it's the Navy versus the Army. Corpsman Brandon Wicker faces off against Sergeant Charles Blackwell in this preliminary bout in the 201-pound competition. Brandon Wicker of the United States Navy was the 2011 AFBC silver medalist, as well as the 2005 Junior Olympic bronze medalist. He's got goals and he's got plans. That's a good thing, because he's coming up against a 3-time Army champion and a 2-time Armed Forces champion, Charles Blackwell of the U.S. Army. Let's get to the action.
Now, making his way to the red corner, representing the United States Navy from Taunton, Massachusetts. He's a hospital corpsman stationed at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Weighing in at 201 pounds, he is the 2011 Armed Forces silver medalist. Let's hear it for Corpsman Brandon Wicker. Making his way to the blue corner, representing the United States Army from Tucson, Arizona. He's a truck driver assigned to the 925th Transportation Reserve Detachment in Tucson. Weighing in at 201 pounds, He is the defending Armed Forces champion and competed in the 2011 Olympic trials. Let's hear it for Sergeant Charles Blackwell.
Blackwell, age 25, Wicker, 27 years old. In terms of boxing experience, Wicker might have a few more years in terms of boxing experience, but in terms of titles, well, that might have to go in Blackwell's direction. We'll see which direction this bout goes as we get underway with round number 1, 201 pounds, the heavyweight category.
Nice sharp right hand by Wicker right out of the gate. I mean, he packs a punch, little Wicker, but Blackwell is a tough customer, as we said earlier.
Patty Pliner is our official, our third person in the ring. She'll have control of this as our ring official. And look at Blackwell, comes right out and gets busy with Brandon Wicker. Brandon Wicker fought in this competition last year, but he moved up a weight class from 178 up to 201.
Ironically, when I spoke to Wicker before the contest, he said he would like to get down to where I thought he should be, closer to 150. So, I mean, his weight seems to be all over the place, and referee going to issue a standing 8 count. Wicker quite confused.
He gets an 8 count. He looked a little confused there for a second, and you watch the eyes, and as he spun around in a circle, which you can't do in the ring, he could have gotten a verbal warning on that particular time, but he didn't. Instead, he got an 8 count. And that's interesting, and I say that very simply, Castle, because he leads in this bout 1-0 at this point in time. And having received an 8 count, he still leads 1-0. Interesting, you don't see that a lot.
No, it's true, you're right, man. And, you know, he's got good footwork, Wicker, and he's going to need that to stay away from the hard punching Blackwell. He does not want to get into a slugging contest with Blackwell, but he is going to need to use his footwork to get inside and avoid some of the big clubbing punches of Charles Blackwell.
Wicker called for holding on. The referee says keep the gloves up and don't hold on out there.
Look at the way he chops Blackwell. That right hand, he punches down. The height advantage is so clear, and he's just lumbering as Blackwell. And he's certainly more of a puncher than a boxer. And
Blackwell doing right now, I think, Castle, what he really wants to do in this bout, and that is cut the ring off of Brandon Wicker, put him over against the ropes, and then pummel him.
You're right, 100%, Van. I mean, Wicker has the speedy footwork and the sharp head movement, and Blackwell's going to need to neutralize that. And as you say, the best way to do that is to cut off the ring and just continue throwing power shots towards Brandon Wicker's head.
But for whatever reason, he's not been able to land. There was one uppercut right there, another quick uppercut. And right now,
you know, Wicker not quite fighting the fight I'd like to see him fight. I think he needs to be more active, use his feet. He doesn't want to just sit there and be a punching bag. He needs more lateral movement, side to side, and circle away from Blackwell.
He doesn't, but I'm telling you, I'm looking at the judges' scorecard right now. They've got it in favor of Brandon Wicker. Coming out of the red corner, 4-0 right now. As we move into under close to 15 seconds remaining, Blackwell has his opponent against the ropes. Will pummel him there to some body shots, picks up a scoring blow there. And right now, the computerized judges' scorecard looks 4-1 in favor of Brandon Wicker.
Wicker not really...
There's the bell to end round number 1. As they head to the corner, and that's exactly the way it is. 4-1. Brandon Wicker winning that first round over Charles Blackwell. Let's see what George Silva has to say now to his young boxer, Brandon Wicker.
Okay, getting a little sloppy though. Getting a little sloppy, okay? I need that straight left to the gut. Then you can come around on top with that right hook, okay?
Keep working, baby, come on.
Stop backing up so much, okay? Since you're getting into the corner, get out of there and stop holding them. And I don't give a where he hits you. I don't want you paying attention to that referee. Let her do her job.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Come on, baby.
Let her do her job, okay? I need some good sticks out of you, though. You're not using your jab, okay? Boom, straight to the gut, and come around.
Wait on him.
Okay?
You almost wonder if Wicker has taken only one scoring blow, but he called his coach, yes, ma'am. And
well, that's because the coach said, let her do her job, talking about the third person in the ring official, and he was thinking, yes, ma'am.
It's amazing what happens in the corner of a boxing match.
Well, it's like Mike Tyson said, as soon as you get hit, your whole fight plan goes out the window.
Ain't that the truth?
Round number 2. Brandon Wicker in the red trunks. Charles Blackwell in the gold and black, the Army black and gold. Blackwell, I tell you what, a 3-time Army champion, 2-time Armed Forces champion. He won this thing last year as well as in 2010. We've seen him. We've called his bouts before, Castle. And for him to be on the backside of this bout right now here in round number 2, I'm going to say is a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, perhaps so, man. But you know what? This Blackwell does not stop coming. I mean, that's one thing I remember about him from previous years. He continues to move forward. He continues to throw punches. And when he throws punches and connects, it hurts. Brandon Wicker going to need to stay away from those power shots of Charles Blackwell.
Well, you heard George Silver say, stay out of the corner, stay off the ropes. And right now, that's exactly what Brandon Wicker is doing. And it's working to his favor.
You know, right now, Wicker's using a good job with spatial awareness and timing. He's doing a really good job of timing Blackwell's punches and able to duck many of them. But again, it only takes one big punch, and you just don't want to see Brandon Wicker be on the receiving end of a big overhand right by Charles Blackwell.
Blackwell a bit on the hunt right now, but he needs to be as we approach the halfway point in this bout. They trade blows and each pick up a point. Wicker out in front right now by the score of 5-2 on the judges' scorecards.
You got to hand it to Wicker as well, the counter-punching right there. He's actually beating Blackwell to the punch, which shouldn't come as a surprise because he's the faster boxer. What's coming as a surprise is that he's able to stay inside like that and stay on Blackwell's chest.
He landed some body blows that time, Castle.
Yeah, there's no question. Right now, Brandon Wicker is beating Blackwell to the punch, and he is starting to pull away on the scorecards here in the middle of round number 2. To that end, Blackwell looking a little bit frustrated because his game plan is just not working out as he thought it would.
He's got to be a little bit frustrated at this point in time. 50 seconds remaining here in the second round. Blackwell on the backside of the judges' scorecards, 8-4. There's a nice shot right there by Brandon Wicker, but I don't know if that will count. Referee brings him back to the center of the ring. Good shot, that counted by Wicker. Oh! Wicker goes down, but basically tripped. Doesn't count as an 8 count. Said he was pushed down, says the referee, by Charles Blackwell. Cleaned off his gloves and back at it again. Good right by Brandon Wicker. There's the uppercut by Blackwell. Here comes Blackwell. Wicker backing away. I think he's stunned just a little bit. He is. He drops down to a knee. He's going to get an 8 count from the ring official. Here comes Charles Blackwell on the backside, perhaps, of your scorecard, but on the prowl inside the ring. You take a real quick look at that replay and you see him drop to the knee. Here comes Blackwell. Brandon Wicker retaliating as round number 2 comes to a close.
I don't want you to give up nothing. I want them 5 points. You're going to come back to the corner as the winner. You understand me? We don't have no choice. We don't have no choice. You say you're looking for a job, let your performance be your resume, son. You understand me? Stay behind the jab. Stop letting this kid pop shot you with the hook. I need double jabs. I need right hands. I need you to throw the uppercut to the body once you get him on the rope. Uppercut, hook. Don't smother yourself. Stay here. Boom, boom. It's there all day. And watch for the hook.
One of the best sound bites thus far, Charles LeBarrette tells Charles Blackwell, if you're looking for a job, son, let your performance be your resume. Couldn't have said it better myself.
He also said, work the uppercut and work the hook. Don't let this guy stay in the ring with you. He doesn't belong in the ring. I mean, he doesn't respect Brandon Wicker. Does Charles LeBarrette, the Army coach.
No, and it's 10-6 here. Brandon Wicker, as Blackwell has closed in on the scoring here in round number 3. He, as his coach pointed out, needs 5 points and he needs to give up none, and he'll be the winner. He put down Wicker twice in the second round. Once was ruled a push, and it was. The other with a clean shot. Brandon Wicker with a nice, sneaky lead left hand, snaps back ahead of Blackwell.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I have not seen the score. I have not seen that score added to his total at this point in time. It's 10-7 right now on the judges' scorecard. Brandon Wicker leading Charles Blackwell. But here comes Blackwell. Blackwell's time. He's got a little more than 2 minutes remaining to pick up 3 scoring blows. He gets a body shot, and he picks up an additional point there. Working the head, working the body is Charles Blackwell. But here comes Brandon Wicker, too.
You know, I mean, nothing against Brandon Wicker. He is a fine young boxer, but I think this could be one of the bigger upsets of this tournament for Brandon Wicker, who normally boxes at 75 or so, should be boxing at around 150 according to our conversation, and comes in here at over 200 pounds and is leading the 3-time Army champion, 2-time returning Armed Forces champion, Charles Blackwell, here in the third.
And it's tied up right now, Castle Chalice, 10-10.
As I said that, you're right, Blackwell tied it up, and this is going to come down to the wire.
120 remaining in this bout. One boxer hits, one boxer misses. Brandon Wicker turns into a windmill and drives himself to the ground. It's a slip. He'll clean off his gloves. They stand back up. They're ready to go at it.
You already see the blood on the face of Charles Blackwell, so the peppering shots of Brandon Wicker seem to be taking their toll. And Blackwell, as we expected, just keeps on trucking.
That they may be, but right now it looks, at least on our scorecard, that Blackwell may have slipped ahead. Don't tell Brandon Wicker that, though. He's far from done.
Brandon Wicker like that Energizer bunny that just keeps on coming.
Referee tells him to break, take one step back, and then commence the boxing. Here comes Brandon Wicker with the body shots. Did they get through or not? Tough to see. I don't think that they did. 30 seconds remaining in this bout. It's a one-punch difference on our scorecard. Brandon Wicker right now could use a little gas in his tank. Wicker out of control, overextending, leaning into and onto. Charles Blackwell goes down to the canvas. He will clean off his gloves. They do not know the score. They do not know where they are in this. The house doesn't know the score. It's not publicly displayed. The waning seconds. And this bout is over. 201-pound preliminaries, the heavyweights. And it appears that Charles Blackwell has slipped ahead in the final stanza to take care of Brandon Wicker of the United States Navy. So it was a good third round. This was where the contest was determined. And Charles Blackwell standing in the ring. Let's go to the ring for the announcement.
Sergeant Charles Blackwell.
Well, Charles, here we are once again. Let me ask you, you were down by 3 at the end of the first. You were down by 4 at the end of the second, and you got bloodied up in the third round. What were you thinking going into that third and final round?
I'm just thinking I can't lose. Can't lose.
Well, that's that will and determination that we've seen that makes you a 2-time returning champion. What do you have to say about Wicker and his performance in there tonight?
Man, that boy is the best. He's the best at 78. He done gave all my teammates before in the world-class athlete program runs for their money. I told him he moved too much for 201. Take it back down to 78, but that's my boy. My hat's off to him. He tried to take it from me today.
Well, like your coach said, let your performance be your resume. I'm sure there's a lot of people looking to hire you after that performance. Congratulations, Sergeant Charles Blackwell.
Charles Blackwell, the defending Armed Forces champion, will move on to the championship bout here in the 2012 Armed Forces Boxing Championship. He did it the hard way, though. He had to come back from round 1 and round 2 when he was trailing his opponent, Brandon Wicker, but the championship quality boxing of Charles Blackwell prevailed as he will move on to the championship bout. We'll return to more of the Armed Forces Boxing Championships here at Page Fieldhouse at Camp Pendleton, California, right after this message. Plenty of great action so far in the 2012 Armed Forces Boxing Championship, and more great action promised to come. This is the heavyweight bout, 201 pounds, gold medal match. Senior Airman Kent Brinson will come out representing the United States Air Force. His opponent, as it was last year, Sergeant Charles Blackwell of the United States Army. Brinson is stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado, and he calls home Monroe, Michigan. Now, he came out on the short side last year. A lot on his mind. We talked to Brinson prior to the start of this bout. Let's see what he had to say.
From Monroe, Michigan, Kent Brinson.
I think I'm a boxer who can fight as well. I think I'm a skilled fighter. I don't necessarily have a particular style. I fight whatever it takes to win the bout. It takes a lot of time away from your social life and things like that, but the discipline that it requires to continue to do that daily is, I think it makes you a better person in general, and if you're a better person, you're obviously a better airman. I think I'm a much better, more complete fighter and ready to take on that challenge. I train to be the best at all times. My intention is to win. I wouldn't compete if I didn't feel like I had an opportunity.
His opponent, Charles Blackwell, is the defending champion in this weight class. In fact, beat Kent Brinson last year for the gold medal. You can call this a grudge match. I don't know if that's what Blackwell is calling it, but he talked to us prior to the start of the competition. Let's see what he had to say.
The United States Army.
I'm a boxer puncher. I'm very powerful and have good hand speed as well to go with this, so it makes me quite formidable. We'll run 3 to 5 miles, and then we'll have our gym workouts 3 to 4 times a week. We'll have some hard sparring. I like to hurt and get my opponent out of there early if I can, but I also have the ability to box.
He's got good footwork. He's going to do that to stay away from the hard.
For whatever reason, he's not been able to land. There was one uppercut right there, another quick uppercut.
Put your work in. Nothing happens without hard work. Spend your hours in the gym. Don't be lazy. And if you're meant to do this, it'll happen. Soldier, father, mentor, those are the titles that matter to me.
Now, Castle, these are the heavyweights. They oftentimes bring thunder, but we already mentioned this might be a grudge match. What do you see in this particular bout?
You know, Blackwell comes with all the accolades. 3-time All-Army champ, 2-time Armed Forces champ, returning heavyweight champ. He is really the man to beat in this weight class, especially at this contest here at the Armed Forces. But something about Brinson, I've gotten to know him a little bit from last year and this year. He doesn't come with the physical attributes of Blackwell, but he comes with a certain cunning, a certain guile about him, and he comes with a lot of grit and determination as well. He's a smart boxer. Don't let it fool you. May not look it when he gets in the ring. Give him a round to warm up. This is going to be really close. I'm looking forward.
He may not be flash and he may not be dash, but he promises to bring it straight ahead to Charles Blackwell. Let's get to the action.
And making his way to the red corner, representing the United States Air Force, from Monroe, Michigan, this radio frequency transmission technician is stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado. Weighing in at 201 pounds, he is the 2011 National Pound Champion. Let's hear it for Senior Airman Kent Brinson Jr. Now making his way to the blue corner, representing the United States Army. From Tucson, Arizona, this truck driver assigned to the 925th Transportation Reserve Detachment in Tucson. Weighing in at 201 pounds, he's the defending Armed Forces champion and competed in the 2011 Olympic trials. Let's hear it for Sergeant Charles Lights Out Blackwell.
Charles Blackwell, the last man to enter the ring. He comes into it in the blue corner. Representing the United States Army, he is the defending Armed Forces champion. His opponent in the red corner, Kent Brinson of the United States Air Force. He is the runner-up from last year's competition. This is one that a lot of people have been looking forward to, Castle.
Yeah, you know, this is a rematch from last year. As we pointed out, 18-13, Blackwell took that one by a small margin, and Brinson is definitely hungry for revenge tonight.
Kent Brinson, signed for duty at Fort Carson, Colorado, calls home Monroe, Michigan. 2011 National Police Athletic League champion, been boxing for 9 years. His opponent, Charles Blackwell, well, 2011 Olympic trials, 3-time Army champion, 2-time Armed Forces champion. Need I say more? He was also a college champion. Here we go, round number 1 underway. The heavyweights, 201 pounds.
You know, one thing you notice right away, Van, is the striking size difference. You know, they may both be weighing in at 201, but both from a height standpoint as well as a musculature standpoint. Clearly, Charles Blackwell, a bigger man.
Wow, here comes Brinson. Body shots, downstairs, upstairs. Brinson takes a lead on the judges' scorecard, 2-1. He nods his head like, bring it on, Charles Blackwell.
Yeah, I said earlier, I mean, Brinson may not have all the physical gifts of other 201-pounders, but boy, he's got the goods. I mean, he's smart. He's a real smart boxer, and he's got experience. So he's not intimidated by anyone that's bigger than him, and he's going to come in there and bring it the best he's got.
One of the things that I think Kent Brinson does exceptionally well is he covers nicely.
Yes, great defensive instincts by Kent Brinson.
But he also misses every now and then. That's the cover I'm talking about. Charles Blackwell having a little bit of a difficulty getting through that cover.
Yeah, and that
Whoa, he got through then.
He did, but you know, it's that great cover that allows Kent Brinson to have the confidence to stay in the pocket where he needs to, because as the smaller boxer with the shorter reach, he's not going to be able to land punches from the outside. He needs to stay inside, and he doesn't have the best footwork. He's not going to be able to use his feet to get inside, and he doesn't have the best body movement. But by being able to cover the way he does, he's able to stay in the pocket, withstand the barrage of punches, and then let it back like you see right there.
Well, Blackwell was down 3-1, but he got a scoring blow off a body punch and then one to the head. He tied it up 3-3, but Brinson responded and has gone up 4-3 in this bout. As soon as I say that, Brinson tallies 2 more scoring blows and leads.
That was a
6-3.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, Van. And that's that point that he just scored was off of a beautiful counterpunch. And right there, look at the way he whips that left hand out and scores to the chin of Blackwell. Very impressive left hook. Almost jumps off his feet to throw it. But Kent Brinson doing an impressive job here in round 1.
Kent Brinson sits down on his punches. And by that, I mean he's got his body behind him. It's 8-4 is the score right now. Less than 30 seconds remaining here in round number 1 of this heavyweight contest, 201 pounds. Air Force versus the Army.
And I like that technique right there. You just saw Blackwell. When he's up close, he pushes Brinson off of him, giving himself some much-needed distance, because as we said earlier, Brinson's not going anywhere. He is going to stay on the chest of Blackwell, and Blackwell's going to want to do a better job keeping his distance so he can extend those punches and catch Brinson at the end of them.
We're not going anywhere either. We're going to stay right here. Let's give a listen, if we can, and find out.
We getting caught with the hook. We getting caught with one shot. It's the hook. You got to
what Charles Leverett is going to say to
That's
Charles
why I want
Blackwell.
your right hand in. I don't give a how you throw it or where you throw it at. You got to bring it back to your chin. Okay?
He wants him to throw that uppercut when he's in close, but he also is urging him after he throws it, Blackwell, to get that right hand back up, because without that right hand high to his ear, that left hook by Brinson has been landing solidly throughout this bout.
I think this is what I call the Aretha Franklin bout. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Charles Blackwell respects the left hook of Kent Brinson, and that's why he's got a little trouble doing what Charles Leverett, his coach, has asked him to do. He knows that Brinson could land that left hand, and he would pay the price. Brinson doesn't go from side to side, doesn't vary his angle of attack. He stays back on his heels much more than Blackwell does. But he's a bull in the ring.
He really is. He's built like a bull, and he fights like a bull, and he seems to be able to take any punches that Blackwell throws at him. Blackwell is crowding his punches. You see how he's pushing Brinson off. That's a good technique, but he shouldn't even be that close with Brinson. Brinson fight is the inside fight. Blackwell needs to stay on the outside and work off that jab and avoid. You know, if he keeps himself at distance, Brinson won't be able to land those left hooks. He'll be too far away.
Oh, he landed an uppercut. Here comes Blackwell. Oh, a nice combination by Brinson. Brinson's up 18-6. A good left hook. Another left hook. One to the body. He's trying to set up the right hand now.
Look how Brinson alternates that left hook upstairs and downstairs, really keeping Blackwell guessing.
2-3, 2-3. 20-6 on the judges' scorecards in favor of Kent Brinson right now. Blackwell has got to get on his bicycle. He cannot stand there and slug it out with Kent Brinson. But yet, that's what he's going to do, Castle.
Yeah, Brinson just keeps his hands up high and waits for that counterpunch opportunity. As soon as Blackwell throws that right hand, Brinson catches him with the left hook. That's exactly why Charles Leverett said to get your hand back. And there it is again. We've seen it this entire contest, and that is why Kent Brinson is winning 21-8 here in the middle of round 2.
He is in a slugfest, a Donnybrook, a Pier 9 brawl, if you will. And he just mounts the pressure against Charles Blackwell.
You know, the problem is Blackwell could punch, but Brinson could take a punch. And that means that if Blackwell is going to continue to fight this inside fight, he is not going to be able to move Kent Brinson. He needs to stay on the outside and start to rack up points off of the jab, and I have a feeling that is exactly what his coach is going to tell him if they make it. And now Brinson's face is bloodied from those overhand chopping rights and perhaps that uppercut by Charles Blackwell.
Blackwell starting to find a bit of a home, but he trails now 23-11. Seconds remaining here in round number 2.
Something about me gets the sense that Brinson loves the taste of his blood, and that will only make him fight harder.
We shall see. He's going to get an 8 count.
And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like the nose of Charles Blackwell is also bloodied. So round 2 has been quite an affair.
1 point deduction for hitting below the belt against Charles Blackwell. This all happened right at the end of round number 2, the 8 count, and then the 1 point deduction against Blackwell. Well, we'll be back to the Armed Forces Boxing Championships right after this timeout. Welcome back to Page Fieldhouse here in Camp Pendleton, California, the Armed Forces Boxing Championships. We're getting ready for round number 3 in the heavyweight division. Kent Brinson, man, you see right now on your screen, up 25-11 over his opponent from the Army, Charles Blackwell. You take a look back and you see Blackwell trying to come in, but Brinson seemingly finding a home with that left hand, and Blackwell really has to respect the left hand. However, that blow went below the belt, and that is the one that cost Charles Blackwell a point.
Yep. Actually, what would happen is they give 2 points to the opponent in amateur boxing, as opposed to taking one away from the party that creates the foul. But just the same, it does result in a 2-point differential.
Correct. That is correct, the 2-point differential. Now, Castle, if you played that thing forward, and let's say Brinson was unable to continue due to a low blow, Brinson would not have lost that bout.
No, I mean, you cannot lose it that way. Not on a intentional foul.
Not on a foul like that. Round number 3, here we go. 25-11 right now in favor of Kent Brinson. Brinson trying to work with the jab. I can't tell whether Brinson has a lot of gas left or not, but he manages to find a home for a left and a right.
Oh, man,
he's got enough gas.
Beautiful work by Kent Brinson, man. He is something tonight. And you know what? It reminds me of the earlier rematch between Tommy Roque and Toribio Ramirez. It looks like the guys who lost last year came back with blood and hunger here tonight.
Brinson just jabbing with the left, trying to find a home for the right. Solidly in command right now with a 28-12 lead. Two minutes remaining. And this is the final bout of the heavyweight division for the Armed Forces Gold.
Look how fast the release of that left hook. We've seen it the entire fight, and that left hook of Kent Brinson will earn him a victory tonight.
That at well, Castle. He leads 31-12 right now. Brinson piling it on right now on Charles Blackwell. As commanding of a lead as he is not taking a step back. The last heavyweight from the military to win a gold medal in the Olympics, Ray Mercer, 1988, the same year that Andrew Maynard won a gold medal as well. Seoul, Korea. Kennedy McKinney from Fort Hood, Texas, was the 3rd soldier to win a gold medal in that Olympic Games. It's there, but you've got to earn it. Brinson has earned this one all the way. He leads by 20 right now, 32-12.
And you can see the look of exasperation. I mean, he is winded. Kent Brinson is out of air. He's gasping. But you know what? At this point, he doesn't need much more air. All he needs to do is hold on tight. 30 more seconds, and the victory will be his.
He's got more than enough gas to bring himself home now. Less than 20 seconds remaining. Slight trickle of blood from the nose. The gloves go down of Kent Brinson. He's still leaving himself open a little bit, but he goes up on the judges' scorecards 35-13. And he covers nicely en route to winning a gold medal at the 201 heavyweight division weight class. 35-13. Kent Brinson of the United States Air Force has won heavyweight gold. Let's go to the ring for our official announcement.
And now, the gold medal winner of the 201-pound class, representing the United States Air Force. Give it up for Senior Airman Kent Brinson Jr.
Kent Brinson gets the gold medal and an appreciative applause from the crowd here at Camp Pendleton. Steve Denote, Secretariat of the Armed Forces Sports Office, presenting the gold medal here.
And now, your silver medalist, representing the United States Army. Let's hear it for Sergeant Charles Blackwell.
And Charles Blackwell takes the silver medal this year. Let's go to Castle.
Hey, Kent, that's a nice piece of jewelry around your neck, man. You earned it. That was hard fought and well earned, man. Someone was thinking about this for the past year. What were your thoughts after having lost to him last year at this competition going in tonight?
There's no shame in losing to Trey Blackwell. He's a good fighter, man. He's a tough man, you know, but I felt like I came up short. I felt like I could have won that fight last year, and he grabbed it from me. So this year I had to come out here and take it back. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, you certainly did. I mean, despite the physical advantages, the size that he had on you, it's just something about your cunning, your guile there in the ring. You clearly know your game plan, your strategy. That left hook of yours, how do you get it off so fast?
I mean, it's just one of those things. He can't punch me with his right hand and protect his cheek with it at the same time. So when his glove touches mine, I come back with a counter. That's simple stuff.
It seemed like a quarterback just sitting in the pocket. You were willing to stand in there with your hands high, a great defense, just wait for the opportunity, and you timed every one of those left hooks perfectly.
Well, you guys continue to call me a small 201. I'm just short. I'm not small. Okay? I struggle just like these other guys to make 201. I've been fighting 201 every fight of my career, and I ain't never been stopped and I've never been hurt, so I'm not a small 201.
Well, you're not a small person at all, and you've got a tremendous heart, and you showed it here tonight. Have anything to say to your fellas downrange?
I just want to say keep your heads down and your spirits up. I want to give love to the 13th ASOS for letting me come out here, my commander, Colonel Moore, my first sergeant, Sergeant Burrell, Air Force Sports, everybody there, and a little shout out to the TACP community downrange right now, because I know a lot of my brothers is down there. Love.
Well, everyone, nobody deserves it more. Air Force Senior Airman Ken Brinson. He is your 2012 Heavyweight Armed Force Champion.
He is not small. He's short, and he's also the 2012 Armed Forces Heavyweight Champion. He did it in style, beating Charles Blackwell 35-13. Well, it's been another great day here at Armed Forces Boxing. We want to say thanks once again to all those who have been watching on the Armed Forces Network. Thanks to the Pentagon Channel for helping bring this to you downrange and around the world. For more information, you can log on to pentagonchannel.mil. For Castle Chalice and our entire broadcast crew, until next time, I'm Van Stokes saying so long, everyone.